The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappala and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey boy, good morning, my main man. You look good
brother.
today. Nice day out.
Yeah.
Hot, humid,
I can't
rainy.
stand it. Can't stand it. I can't wait for the first snow to hit.
There we go.
Really.
Welcome, everyone. The Sicilian Corner. I'm Tom Zappala.
Good morning, everybody.
My partner, Mikey boy, Mike Lamazzo. 21 years, Mike. 21 years.
It'll be 22 years December 4th.
Unbelievable. You are.
But who's counting?
Who's counting? We're broadcasting, by the way, from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. And don't forget, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. Like us, share us with your friends, all that stuff. And by the way, you can comment. We love you to comment when you're watching the show on Facebook. Or you can email me at zapsenior@hotmail.com. Review us. We have no problem. We have thick skin, especially Mikey. Look how thick his skin is.
Oh, yeah.
Feel free to, comment. If you have any show suggestions, we're open. If you want to send us food, money, we're receptive to that.
Plus gift certificates.
Gift certificates.
Don't forget gift certificates.
So anything you can do, we'd love you to communicate with us.
Absolutely.
Because we're in a new world now. New world. All the different platforms you can listen to us on. You can watch us on Facebook, on YouTube. I want to get on ESPN. How do we get on ESPN?
That's going to be pretty hard for this type of show.
Arm wrestling.
You would be great.
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling?
Yeah. On your ESPN. Once a week, arm wrestling. Tommy and Mike.
You and I?
Oh, no. No way. No way. All right, listen. You know who I invited? Now, here's a backstory.
Yeah.
We had a guest that canceled. He was going to come into the studio, but he couldn't. He had to go to the airport. So whenever we have a guest that cancels,
we shoot him.
I call up
Salvation. We don't shoot him.
I call up the Salvation Army first. I got a rejection from them. I called up the Jewish Community Center. I got a rejection from them. I called up the Shrine at Holy Rosary to talk to the maintenance man. Got a rejection. So who do I call?
Brother Al.
Brother Al in Sicily.
Hey, Viva Sandalfio.
No, all kidding aside. Albie boy, how are you, brother?
I am terrific. Tom, could I ask you guys a marketing question for you and Mike?
Absolutely.
Is it true that you're going to start next week for your live studio audience to provide donuts for them so they can eat donuts while they're watching the show?
Absolutely.
A lot of people would come and watch you guys live if you had something for them to chew on.
Well, we give them free coffee, Al.
No, if people want to come into the studio, Mikey will pick up a dozen donuts or 2 dozen donuts, and you're welcome to come up, and we will have donuts for you. How's that?
Speaking of donuts.
I think that would be a nice touch.
Speaking of donuts.
Look on the Ellen DeGeneres show, she used to give away a free car.
Good point.
So I'm not asking you guys to give away a free car, but
I don't want to hear the story.
A donut.
Do not tell the story.
What?
About what?
About Lucille. You've told the story 15 times when she was on the Ellen show. Wasn't she on Ellen's? Oh, no, that was the other one. Whitney Houston. What was the girl's name?
Whitney Houston, really?
Who show?
You pay attention when I talk,
that he says don't tell the story and then stops telling it himself a little bit.
He was going to tell a story about Lucille, but it was a different show.
How can you know what I'm thinking?
It was a different show.
You mentioned donuts, Al.
Let's talk about
I can't get over how bad the donuts are at Dunkin' Donuts.
I agree.
They are freaking awful. They are gosh darn disgusting.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
The best donuts
is where?
David.
Where?
Chrissy. The best donuts on the North Shore.
Clem's.
Nope.
Clem's up in Wyndham, New Hampshire.
Cider Hill Farms.
My girl. My girl.
Cider Hill Farms in Amesbury. They have the best donuts. They have 2 flavors, plain and sugar.
I was going to say, they're very limited.
Hot cider donuts, hot off this machine. They literally melt in your mouth. On Sunday, the kids came over. They brought 2 dozen. They were gone in 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're smaller ones. Yeah. They're delicious.
Delicious. Hot. A little greasy. Good. Real good.
You don't eat stuff
Tom, what about that other place on I think it's Route 1 in Amesbury there. It's right as you get off on the highway and you make a right.
Oh, no,
Andy
Man's?
Yeah, Andy Man. They had great muffins.
Yeah,
there.
good muffins, but their donuts, a little suspect, Al.
I'll tell you,
A little
Clem's,
suspect.
Clem's is where it's at.
Clem's, we'll check Clem's out.
Oh,
what
my
kind of
goodness.
donuts?
everything.
Oh.
I mean, it's a full bakery. You walk in there just on a cold winter's morning. How's the smell in there?
Oh, so good.
But how about, have you ever had a Krispy Kreme donut?
I haven't.
They're my favorite chain donut.
Krispy Kreme are
They're just
pretty-
like fluffy clouds.
Especially the honey dip ones. What do they call them?
Just the glazed.
glazed.
Just plain glazed.
They just melt and they drip all over you. They're delicious, man.
You remember we had
I think you should have a whole show on donuts.
Right.
You ought to bring in like 6 different types from different local stores and have Mike and you and
idea.
expert.
I agree.
Good idea, Al.
See, that's a
That'd
great.
be a great.
Now,
That's a great show.
what was
is
the
a great
greatest? What was the greatest marketing? This is how we get off on topics. What was the greatest marketing donut concept of all time? Let's think about this. The guy who was sitting in Dunkin' Donuts, probably smoking a little weed, and he decided to sell the little round things that they plucked out of the donuts.
The donut holes.
Right?
Munchkins.
Greatest invention of all time.
Which they don't pluck anything out. I used to make donuts in a bakery. You don't pluck anything out of the
that,
middle.
that's the way they used to do them.
Really?
Yeah, they used to have this thing that popped them out.
They really would?
Yeah, and that's how they
Way
did
back
it.
when.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm not old enough. My
So they
apologies.
decided to, hey, instead of throwing these out, let's sell them.
Oh, we just had a machine that spits
Yeah,
out
yeah,
rings.
that's
so you
probably
can
how
throw
they-
it, right?
probably how they do it
Did you
now.
work in a bakery?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rissy,
Yeah,
really?
many. My parents owned a couple back in Australia for a
Oh,
long
I didn't
time.
know that.
Yeah, they were bread specific though.
what
Their
is the
specialty.
go-to? What's the go-to pastry in Australia? What's the like? Do they have apple pie?
Yeah, but we don't all this. Now we're getting really off topic
I
because
know.
we do. So in Australia, our bakeries, you get the hot food. We do hot pies and hot sauce, as in savory hot pies, and we do things called sausage rolls. And
Oh, so you're talking about stuff that has meat.
these
in
are
it, stuff?
pastries. That,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
along with
That's
like
good stuff, man.
vanilla slice. So we
Shepherd's
you
pie.
guys call bars, but we call them all slices. So we have like vanilla slice. I make it
I-
caramel.
Nice.
Before we get back to Al, real quick, I just want to say I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, and Crocodile Dundee was on. I thought about you.
Albie, what's going on in Sicily, brother? How's the weather? Number one.
Weather's been scorching hot.
Yeah.
I mean, scorching hot. I in 22 years me being here, I can't remember the heat like it's been. Fortunately, they've all come back.
Global climate warming. Is that what they call it?
Catania Airport last month had more travelers pass through it than any other airport within Italy.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Is Alitalia out of business now, right? What is the
Right.
new? What's
Alitalia, no. It's ITA is the name of the company that bought the assets of Alitalia, including the brand name.
okay.
Some of the planes on their, their planes say Alitalia. If you go to their website, it says Alitalia, but the corporate entity is called ITA.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're the ones and what they've done is they've kind of like gotten rid of the dreck, so to speak. They laid off 30% of the high-paying senior management. They brought in younger clientele in terms of the flight attendants and so forth. And now they're just generally trying to change the image from being an old stogie, non-responsive airline to kind of like something that's got a little bit of pizzazz to it.
Is it working?
So, yeah, ITA is doing pretty good. Yeah,
Good.
It's doing pretty good. Yeah, actually, when you fly from Catania out of town, if you're going to Rome and then you're going home from Rome, everybody flies ITA. They have every 50 minutes they have a flight, boop, 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 starting at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning,
Just
and
like
going, right
Yeah.
through.
we had in Boston to New York.
Sure,
Remember?
that's pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Northeast
It's,
Airlines.
yeah. So that's one of the things that's going on here in in Sicily, and of course the big things. All the eyes are on the elections in October, national election, where there's going to be a whole new everything is going to be coming along in October.
Tell us about
And
it. I mean, get into detail. Is the government going to change? Government policy is going to change?
profoundly.
Really?
They're going to get rid of the
Yeah.
bloat, Al?
The what?
They're going to get rid of the bloat?
The fat.
No, which part? Corruption and greed and fat is ingrained into the Italian DNA.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no getting around it. I was just reading an article in the paper about Sicily. You know, people say, well, Sicily's got a lot of unemployment. The answer is that that's baloney, because over 30% of the workers here work in the black, and they never count the people who work in the black because they don't declare any income. And you know what they do? Some of these entrepreneurs,
That's
so
not
to speak,
true.
think nothing of getting their restaurants and then taking the electrical wire and hooking it up to the regular electrical grid
No, that's
outside.
That's genius.
All right.
that's simply genius.
That's genius, brother.
That's creativity.
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that, Al.
Creativity.
Yeah, right.
Keeps
sure.
your costs down.
Except the others pay for that, okay? The others pay
See, I
for
do that.
And then the whole
Next door.
lot of the
Next door
bride.
neighbor. I have one of those big orange ones, you know,
yeah.
those 200-foot ones.
Yeah.
I plug it into his garage.
Oh, beautiful.
You know,
What?
Ellen
Yeah.
at nighttime, Ellen walks over, plugs it in.
And you run your whole house.
We run the whole house on my next door neighbor's, electricity, and then she sneaks out in the morning, unplugs it, and pulls it in.
You're my idol, dude.
It's fantastic.
Tommy, it's a different world. It's a different system. European thought is a lot different than the United States thought, American thought, that's for sure. But once you get used to it, and you know that to get from A to B, you have to go through point C, D, E, F, and G to get to B. It functions, okay? I mean, it functions. So that's all I can say to you. I enjoy it. I know that the lifestyle here, for me, anyways, has added quality. I mean, I'm 72 years old now, Mike.
Good for
And
you.
the way I
You
was
look
living
great.
in the United States, my brother used to say to me all the time, "Al, you're headed for the freaking graveyard."
You know, you're right.
You know?
You have definitely. It has definitely helped you from a physical and mental standpoint.
He's learned how to relax. That's
Right?
what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
it's-
learned how to
You know
relax.
what it is? We don't have the junk that they have in the United States to eat. I mean,
Right.
I really think that the poison that's sold in the markets, all the processed stuff, all the stuff that has preservatives and all that stuff is very limited here.
Right.
Now, you're talking about donuts. You have to hunt far and wide to get a donut.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's no donut shops all over the place. Even if you spot finally something that looks like a cake, okay, which again you have to hunt far and wide, and you buy that cake and it looks terrific. And the first thing that you're going to notice when you take a bite out of that cake is that it has maybe 20% of the sugar that is contained in the same type of a cake in the United States.
I believe that.
You know,
Okay.
it was great. It was great, Al, to see Domino's get kicked out of Italy. They closed all 800 shops. Who would think of that
They
pizza,
had no
that business
shot
being
of
there? That was so
success.
stupid. What a marketing decision that was.
Dumb.
What are they, nutty? They opened 820 units in Italy. You're going to try and sell pizza to the
I
Italians?
agree. Al, the
That
other,
It's
cardboard?
pretty much the same story for Dunkin' Donuts. You know, years ago, the story that I heard was that they tried to come into here, and what happened with them was some Italian conglomerate bought the licensing fees, the license, for the name, and buried it. So there's really, except if you go to the military installations, you could find
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but you're not going to find Dunkin' Donuts anyplace. And also Starbucks. Now, some of the Starbucks in the touristic centers do good. All right, Rome, Milano, but there aren't any Starbucks that I cannot get a Starbucks coffee within 20 miles of where I live. There's no First of all, why would you want to? That's number one. When an espresso here costs 65 cents and a double espresso costs €1.10. You know, how much does an espresso cost at a Starbucks?
$5.
A couple of bucks.
Yeah.
right?
I would think,
So,
if not more.
Yeah. So over here, these whole business of the coffee bars, they call them bars here. They're for the little guy. They're for the little guy. But the suppliers, that's a different story. Okay. Let's say that the three of us want to open up a coffee shop here, a bar. Okay. We're going to call it Mike's Cafe. All right. So the first thing you do.
Good name.
Thank you. Cafe Miguel. How does that sound?
Oh, even
So
better. Even better.
Right. You find one of the local coffee makers, and they come in and they provide to you the espresso machines, which can cost $10,000 or $15,000 a unit. They provide the training. They provide all the espresso cups and all that stuff. So you don't have that enormous upfront expenses that you have in the States, okay? And in return, you have to buy their coffee. They supply the coffee to you, but they also, like Coca-Cola does, they provide the sign, whether it's Ionia or Mocha or somebody like that. And people know what they like for coffees. The singers know what preferred brand that they buy. So when they go to a bar, they usually go to a bar where they buy that coffee at home, where they bring it home. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one of the very favorite ones here is it's kind of like a sweet store. It's called Coffee and Chocolate in English, Café et Chocolate. Well, that's the one you can go. They're all over the place, a big chain, and you get delicious coffee, and you also get delicious desserts, and that's all they have. You can't get a sandwich there.
Al, before we take a break, the other thing relative to the food in Italy versus the food here in the United States is portion control, correct? Like using pasta as an example, or bread, or cheese. You know, typically 2 people may cook a pound of pasta here, or 3 people. In Italy, what's the average serving for pasta per person?
Okay, it's 125 grams is the average serving. That's about a third of the American size. Okay, you're not going to get Olive Garden quantity at any restaurant here. As a matter of fact, you know the old American marketing saying, you don't buy the steak, you buy the sizzle. You've heard that in Marketing 101 in the States. It's all about the presentation. When that pasta is put in front of you, it's so beautiful to look at. It's so elegant the way that they've put it on the plate, and garnished it and so forth, that you salivate. You salivate. And when you're eating food in Italy, you're eating it not only with your mouth, but you're eating it with your eyes.
I believe in
that. Yeah, it's basically an experience. Okay, now, I know that you guys go to, what's that gal's name in Amesbury?
Cafe Molise.
Restaurante Molise.
Right? That's about, in my experience, that's about the closest to a good quality restaurant in the United States that I've seen in Italy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, it's the presentation that she does is unbelievable.
Ellen, we had dinner there Friday night.
And when they put her plate, and I haven't talked to that woman for many years, you know, your eyes are like feasting on what you're seeing before you put the first forkful of food in your mouth.
Well, Al, when you come in October, that's where we'll go. Forget the Mission Oak Grill. Let's go there.
Yeah, I would love to go there.
He wants kidney lamb chops at the Phoenician.
I was actually there with Mike and Lucille the last time, maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, the food is. I'll tell you what, the food is even better now, and the reason being is
I had that big boat thing that had all the different.
Cioppino,
the large Cioppino.
She's doing all of the cooking now herself. She's got a bunch of sous chefs, probably 10. But her fingerprints are on every dish. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Big Al is in the house. We got some other stuff to discuss. Al, I want to ask your opinion when we come back about the St. Gennaro Festival in New York and what's going on. Pretty interesting. Yep. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Eszter of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine each pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and we are fortunate.
You see David when it's time for us to come, he cues us to come back on the
He starts waving.
He's got this going, and he's got the whole 9
Like it's
yards.
NASCAR.
It's because you're not paying attention. You
like-
guys are
No,
chatting,
we're paying
having a good
attention.
Just
time.
like it's NASCAR.
It may look to
gotta-
you
woo!
and to Chrissy like we're not paying attention.
It's like
Doesn't
round
look,
them up.
it sounds. You're having a conversation. I'm like, the second I open this microphone, people are going to hear, and that's what
Round
she said
them up,
to me.
man. Round them up.
Hey, we were invited. Unfortunately, it was Mike and I, and the girls were invited along with Marianne Esposito
Yeah, we never get invited.
and her husband.
David, it's
We're going to be having dinner at Grazie next Saturday night. Mike was gracious enough to invite Marianne to Grazie, and she's going to be doing a book signing there in November. Correct?
You got a new book.
New book coming out, and she's going to be doing a book signing. So,
We should have fun with that.
yeah, it'll be good.
I'm looking forward
Can
to
I
it.
have 2 martinis that night for Ellen drives?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're entitled.
Right? I mean, it'll be a long meal, so I'm not. I mean, two martinis over the course
As
of.
long as you don't wolf the first one down.
I won't. I promise.
Nobody drinks a martini with a straw. I got to tell you that
promise.
right now.
I promise. I tend to drink my first martini quickly, and I
No. Get out.
I've been doing it for 40 years. I don't know why.
It doesn't affect you. Unbelievable.
No. Although I have to say,
Al, do you drink martinis at all?
Al, you've been in.
You can't buy extra dry vermouth here.
Oh, you
So
can't.
I drink vodka, but I don't drink. You know
all
what I had last night though? I had a limoncello martini.
Oh, those are that's
those are
fake.
nice.
That's fake.
With a
It's all
dash
fake
of
now. That
lemon
stuff
juice.
is fake. But Al, I got to ask you now. We've been together our whole lives, and we've had many martinis together in our lives over the course of. Now, honestly, have you ever seen me drunk? Honestly, okay, right?
That's good.
Now, Sunday at my house,
Spare ribs, eh?
spare rib day. I was smoking spare ribs for 5 hours, right? 5 hours
Nice.
in the heat,
In the smoker.
in the smoker. Everybody else is,
What's the temperature when you're cooking?
250.
I don't have a smoker. 250?
You got to keep it at 250, but you have to open it in the smoke, and it's hot. It's 80 degrees out there for 5 hours. I had 2 martinis.
Were you out there or was Ellen out there?
I was out there the whole time. Ellen was working with the kids on, other stuff. I was pretty buzzed. Pretty
That's because
buzzed.
you didn't keep yourself hydrated.
I did. I had about 5 or 6 bottles of water while I was working, but it was the heat. I had 1 martini, like you said, right at the get-go, like 1:30. Then I had another one about 2:30, 3 o'clock. I fell asleep at 6:30 on my couch after the kids left.
You got a little dehydrated.
I don't know what it was. I mean, that's never happened.
It doesn't bother you usually, right?
Never. Never. Anyway, Al, you and I were talking this morning about what's going on at the San Gennaro Festival, which we're in agreement, I think, and I just told Mike, why don't you tell us what's going on there?
Well, we're talking about San Gennaro in New York City. Which
Correct.
is one of the largest Italian festivals in the United States of America. As a matter of fact, a couple of the actual many movies have been filmed there. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
The president is of the opinion that the Godfather type paraphernalia, T-shirts, hats, buttons, and all that stuff that the vendors sell denigrates the Italian culture. And he started something this year where no vendors were allowed or are allowed to sell mafia-themed buttons, shirts, or anything else at the festival. And in the contract that the vendors sign to go there, they have to agree to that.
Good.
I
thought, wouldn't that be great if more festivals did that?
Great idea.
You know, I mean, you got to pass
I'm going to mention that to Tony and to Wayne. That's a very good idea.
We really don't have that.
Yeah, there's some T-shirt joints.
Not
There's a lot of
many.
T-shirt joints.
Well, I mean, that you're going to be offended by it. St. Gennaro's, Lucille and I used to go in the 80s and 90s almost every year.
Yeah.
We made it in conjunction with the Red Sox-Yankees series. So I'd be there for 3 nights. Al, you would have been hard-pressed to find the statue of St. Gennaro.
Yeah.
And the junk that those vendors
Yeah,
sold.
they've done
it was sacrilegious.
They've done a complete
I'm not the
about-face.
most religious guy in the world.
No way.
But honest injury.
Like me.
But it bothered me. So I'm very, very happy.
It's a good thing
to see
Actually,
what's going on.
I'm going to mention that to Tony and to Wayne, Tony Palmisano and Wayne Peters.
We refuse at St. Alfio's. They refuse vendors because the subject matter is questionable.
We have to pay close attention to that. I agree with you, Mike.
At St. Gennaro's, if you had the money to pay, now they draw 1.5 million people.
Right.
1.5 million.
I know. Crazy.
I mean, it's unbelievable. But the junk that they were selling.
Al, let me ask you this question. So let's go to what's the big festival in Catania? What is it? What is it? Mama.
It's, no. It's,
no. What is it? Pia?
St. Agatha.
St. Agatha. Now, do the vendors there sell stuff like mafia-related anywhere in Sicily?
They sell rugs.
Oh, no, besides that. Are there T-shirt joints and stuff like that?
Let me say this to you, okay? Because I've railed against that for 22 years over here. In Sicily, it is freaking scandalous. All right, what is sold in these little trinket shops in Taormina, Palermo, Catania.
In what way?
You could buy, for example, busts, all right, of Mussolini made out of lava. Mussolini, right? They'll have whole shelves full of them. In Taormina, whole shelves. You want the $5 size, the $15 size? They're big. It's crazy, all right? Of course, they have Il Padrino, shirts. But you have to understand that there's a shadow government here.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a shadow government here, like I said, of corruption. And those guys need to get their vig, so to speak. And that would never change here unless there was a huge uprising from the population to do that. It's like I said, culturally, it's far different here. Now, let me give you the perfect example, okay? Most of the New York City Italians, okay, those guys are probably 95% Democrat. They vote Democrat in all the elections.
Really?
Because of the union affiliation, all right?
Yeah.
The unions and the Democrats in all the major urban cities, Chicago, Philly, right? They all vote Democrat, all right? Why they vote Democrat for the rank and file, I haven't a clue, but they do, all right? Here, it's the opposite. Here, that's not the case. Sicilians, by nature, are conservative people, okay? Italians, believe it or not, are conservative people. So when the left took control of Italy after Berlusconi left, when Berlusconi was here, his political machine had very tight grip on things, so to speak, okay, economy, everything else. When the left came in, they opened up the door to things that normally wouldn't have occurred had the right been in charge. So the migrants, okay, is a good example. Okay, the United States of America has immigrant sanctuary cities in the United States. We have the migrant issue here, except the migrant issue here is oppressive because for the most of the time, it's not subsidized by the European Union. In other words, Italy has had to bear the cost of housing and feeding and putting up with these people for many years. So after a while, that got to be an issue with the center right and the right. So now these elections are coming up, and I could see Italy going to the more conservative elements. And here in Italy, there's not just two parties like there is in the States, the Democrats and Republicans, and then you have like the Green Party and small stuff like that. Over here, there's 57 or 67 parties, Right? So you have to. So what these guys have to do is they have to make a coalition. So in theory, if one party has only 26% of the vote, and another party has 26% of the vote, they control the government, 52%. So what's happened here is that the center right, that's the center moderate component, and then to the right, going all the way up to the lunatic right fringe, right? They have about.
I think we lost them.
Oh, looks like we're having some connection issues here.
Yeah, the internet stinks in Sicily too.
Yeah, the internet. Although, yeah, he looks like he's staring at.
Yeah, he's staring at something.
Some kind of a.
Maybe the volcano.
The whole areas of Italy.
There you go. You're back.
You lose me?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's all right. It'll catch
Yeah,
up.
you'll catch up, Al. Just keep talking. Yep, we lost you.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
There are whole areas of Italy still controlled by the socialists and the communists, but they're up north. Not in Sicily. They don't control it. There are other groups, very small groups, like those for the independence of Sicily. They're very minor groups, but there's a million of those groups. You know, people who are anti-plastic, people who are green. But I mean, it's crazy how they have the politics here. It's just nuts.
Al, let's talk about. Is he? Oh, you're there, Al. I want to talk about just to switch gears. We got a few minutes before the next break. What's the seasonal food right now? Because you're always in tune with that. Because that's how you live by the seasonal foods that exist. What is the seasonal food right now?
If you open my refrigerator right now, you're going to find both white grapes and purple grapes in my refrigerator because the grape harvest is just getting done here.
Yep.
Beautiful, spectacular tasting peaches that when you bite them, the juice goes all over your face. Peaches and plums. You're going to find those little green, they didn't have them in the States. They're little light green plums that almost taste like an apple, but they're a plum.
Really?
And now, yeah, they're just unbelievable. You've got broccoli rabbit, up at Gazinze. That's just getting harvested now. All the green stuff is coming out now. And then, of course, now within another 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have the chestnuts, the vendors selling the chestnuts and the roasters, every night. They're about €13 a kilo. That's about $6.50 a pound roasted. They're delicious. You've got the figurina, prickly pears.
The figs.
Those are out now. You've got, it looks like a pumpkin, but it's not a pumpkin. It's zucca, and it tastes completely different than a pumpkin. It kind of tastes like a combination sweet potato or something like that. That's delicious. So you've got celery. Celery is so good here. You bite a piece of celery, and it tastes like celery when we were kids. Nowadays, you buy that stuff in the market.
It's got a bitter taste to it. He's right. Celery has a bitter taste to it now, right?
I can't eat it.
I love it.
And I do too, but it says.
But I have to put a little bit of salt on it.
There's something about. You're right, Al. I agree with you. There's something about the taste.
Well, you know what the issue is, Tommy, is a lot of this stuff. It comes primarily it comes from the peaches come from the southern part of the states, but when they pick the peaches, they're green because they're in transit and so forth.
Right.
So it's a little bit different the way those things are ripened. And then the same thing with California, but. When you have stuff coming in from Mexico, when you have stuff coming in from South America, bananas, for example, from Central America, those things are picked
green,
dark green, dark green.
Yeah.
How much does Sicily export as far as fresh vegetables to other European countries in the area? Do you have any idea?
It depends on the different companies, but. Remember, we're regulated by the European Union.
Right.
So right now, the European Union is trying to kiss ass quite a bit with North Africa. So they have trade deals.
Which is very close.
Natural gas. We're going to buy your natural gas from you. It's going to come through our pipeline because we need natural gas, and in return, you're going to buy X from us, and then we're going to buy more stuff from you. Yeah. So one of the things that they're buying from North Africa are tomatoes, okay? And the price of tomatoes coming from North Africa and bananas is so cheap that it's putting Sicilian farmers out of business.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
How are the tomatoes? Yep. Are they good?
The tomatoes from Italy, especially from the southern port, where Joe Cartadella's from, Pacchino, they're considered to be the best in Europe. And what I'm telling you, Tom, when you eat those tomatoes, you go out of your mind. Okay, that's how good
big difference. Yeah, big difference.
You can eat them like strawberries or right, like chocolate. I mean, in salads, garnishes. But with me, I just cut them in half. I put a little salt on them, a little bit of pepper on them, and I put some EVOO on top.
There you go.
Sometimes if I want to put a little balsamic on top, and that's it. That's my side dish when I have whatever meal I'm going to have.
Oh, perfect.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Boy, it's going by fast. We have another segment with Big Al. We're going to change it up a little bit, talk about some of the stuff that you and I had talked about, and we'll get Al included.
Okay.
Hang in there. We'll be right back with Big Al Zapp from Sicily.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things, and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back. Albie, tell us about the Sicilian Project.
Well, I have a huge, this is like a scoop for the Sicilian Corner. Well, you know, we educate people over here and we help out churches and so forth, but we were called by the pastor of the Sanctuario della Madonna di Acicatena. Okay, it's a beautiful 15th century church over here. And we went to go visit him, and we found out that the townspeople, with their own townspeople, the parishioners, bought a dilapidated house and out of their own pocket refurbished it. And there are now refugees from Ukraine living there. Okay. So we offered to put an English class there, which they agreed to. And so there we're gonna teach both Italians how to speak English, kids, and also Ukrainians over there. So talking to Giovanni Lanza, our president, and members of my board, we sent €1,000 for the first time directly to support the refugees there. So we're very happy about that we're able to do that, thanks to the generosity of American donors. Okay, thesicilianproject.com, www.thesicilianproject.com, 501c3 nonprofit. And the other thing we're starting now, Tom, as you know, for many years we've conducted our own classes. We decided now we're going to start, because we're at the point where we have some money in the bank, thanks to guys like my brother. Believe it or not, my brother Tommy.
Get out.
Made it down. Tell you what, I almost fell off the chair.
All right, let's move on.
But anyways, he made a donation. I was very happy to see that. Now we're going to issue grants, academic grants, to schools that teach teachers on how to teach English. We feel we might be able to get more bang for our buck by doing that, teaching the educators how to do that, as well as giving schools grants to help their own programs, because they've been devastated with economic cuts. So that's now our new kind of like
very good
plan going forward. Yeah.
Good.
Sorry about that, guys, but I just want to throw that in.
No, that's fine.
No, that's good.
Albie, what did you think of the Patriots last week? I wasn't totally disappointed with them. I think you were, but I wasn't totally disappointed with them. I really wasn't. Why do you give me that look?
I don't think they were mentally in the game, truthfully, right from the get-go. Jeff, right from the get-go.
I think they're going to be.
And I wasn't concentrating really on the game because I happened to be someplace else, but I was watching it whenever I could. And to me, that offense the offense has to be like a well-oiled machine. And when you got a defensive coordinator who is outstanding at being in charge of defense,
and he's running an offense,
and trying to run an offense, it's not an easy thing.
I agree. Albie, what do you think?
I remember, Tom, the one play that I'm going to just talk about one play is when the new rookie guard, missed his block with Trent Brown. As a result,
I saw
quarterback
got killed.
That play, he got leveled. He got killed, right?
That's when he hurt his back.
I remember being at Austin Prep, and in a scrimmage, I missed my block, and my quarterback got slaughtered, right? And I remember what Larry Clemens did the next day at practice. He called the whole team. He put them 20 yards away from me, and he gave me the football. And he says, "You're going to stand there." And the whole team ran over me, just to let the linemen know what it felt like to get slaughtered. All right. That left guard, the same thing ought to happen to him. They ought to give him the football, let the freaking defense just run over that guy, and he'll never make that mistake again.
A quarterback is so vulnerable when somebody misses
on the blind side.
On the blind side. You're off balance.
Yeah.
You're off
balance.
You're right.
On the blind side, you can get really.
really. Something. I hope the kid he learned from it. It hardens him. One game. They don't play well in Miami anyway.
I know.
I think the temperature in the field was 100 degrees.
The other thing about Belichick teams, and I think you guys both know this, is that Belichick looks at the first 8 or 9 games of the season as a learning experience. He uses those 8 or 9 games to evaluate, look at the mistakes, make his adjustments. By the time November comes around, the Patriots are a different team. They become a playoff contending team. Happens every year.
Well, it'll be interesting.
Mike, the other thing about having Patricia as the defensive coordinator calling the plays, I just want to give you another perspective. Is a defensive coach knows how to analyze a team's weakness, okay, defensively.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he probably helps the offensive. I mean, that's helping him offensively. Now, the problem there to me seems to be one of communication, where the hand signals and all this other stuff that
he was lost a few times.
Yeah, I don't totally agree with you, Al.
It's not there yet. It's not there yet.
I don't totally agree with you, and I'll tell you in what respect.
You want to know something? The freaking Raiders lost.
No, I know.
Okay? You talk about Las Vegas stealing half the coaching staff. It's the same net result.
No, but
They're 0-1.
I think the only difference about what you're saying relative to both of you, a defensive coordinator running the offense, is I think you're right. It gives him a different perspective. But I think where both Joe Judge and Matt Patricia are falling on their faces with the skill position plays. They don't know that. I'm talking about the pass plays, wideouts, that type of stuff. That's the stuff that I think that they're a little weak in.
You know that Joe Judge was a quarterback in college.
I know he was.
Right.
I know he was.
I mean, he was a quarterback. I don't even know would you think that Matt Patricia even played football in college?
I have no idea.
He's a big boy. I think so.
You can get him and Charlie Weiss and put him on both. That's a pretty
Al,
good size,
just refresh my memory. You did coach football for a while, didn't you? Or
Many
didn't
years.
you? Many years. Okay.
Coach at the
High
high
school.
school.
I was just wondering, was it offense or defense, Al?
I was an offensive coordinator for a bunch of teams. I've coached everything. So.
Okay.
Matter of fact, at Methuen High School, my favorite thing was I was a receivers coach. I wasn't a receiver.
Yeah, without a doubt, Al. Without a doubt, your first coaching gig was the greatest coaching gig.
I started with my brother.
This is
Where were you? St. Mary's?
7 years old.
How old were you, Al? 23, 24?
25, 26. I was a kid. It made me love to coach. Working with you made me love to coach.
We had
where was
Amesbury High.
But
But hold on a second. It was my first coaching job.
Oh, you coached too?
At Amesbury High School. But this was
and he was with you?
The first coaching job that I had.
The Zappala brothers.
Listen. It was the Ames. At the time, they had junior high teams.
Okay.
All schools.
Yeah.
We coached the Amesbury junior high team. And the funny part about this team was I was the head coach and Al was the line coach on both sides.
Okay.
Offensive team. Just two coaches.
Yeah.
And we had maybe 16, 17 kids on the team. Right, Al?
That's it?
Right.
Okay, and I'll tell you why, which is hysterical. Because there was another independent team called the Independent Jets in Amesbury. 40 kids on the team. 40 kids. No one wanted to go out for the high school, for the middle school team. They all wanted to play in the Jets with the white uniforms, right in the stadium. Al and I are coaching 16 thugs, 16 juvenile delinquents. Pretty much, Al? Except one of them became a very, very, very good college receiver for Boston College.
Wow.
One of them. But we had tough kids. So now they challenge us to a game. Independent Jets.
I thought that was Newburyport we were playing.
No, that was another one. We played the Jets, crush them. 16 kids, they have 40. Now the big game is Amesbury and Newburyport. Right?
That was the rivalry.
That was like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
like Lawrence and Lowell.
Lawrence and Lowell. Last game of the season, we're down 6-0 at the half.
Close game.
We go into the locker room.
Did you motivate him? What was your speech like?
It wasn't mine. Al said, I'd like to speak to the kids. I said,
Which I didn't do all year.
He didn't do anything all year, right?
So here we are, the final game of the season. You're down 6-0. And you're going to get out there and talk. What was the premise of the...
He stands up, right? And he starts slow.
Then starting to build momentum.
The importance.
Yeah, I can see it happen. Right. I can feel it.
And then the voice is getting louder and louder.
Personal pride.
And louder. Yeah. And the kids start crying. They're getting emotional.
No.
No. They're screaming.
No.
Right?
Al, I'm proud of you, brother.
And his last words are, now let's go out and get him, right? And I walked up to him and says, that was the most inspirational speech I ever heard. We crushed them. Crushed them in the second half.
And no preparation, no rehearsal, no preparation, no rehearsal, no nothing. It came from your head. That's the best thing.
That was the funniest thing I have ever seen. All right, Albert, we got about 2 minutes to go. How can people get in touch with you? Let's talk about real quickly. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go ahead.
First of all, you have to watch You, Me, and Sicily on YouTube, Facebook, etc. Just go to YouTube and search You, Me, and Sicily.
Yeah.
You could always get a hold of me at our website, www.youmeandsicily.com. But really, the one that runs the whole show, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bow down to her, is Eszter Vida. She's the one she's the front person, so to speak. She's the personality. I'm usually just in charge of logistics and security. But we have wonderful programming, short videos from 12 to 20 minutes that if you have an interest in your cultural background, just go there. We have over 200 of them now.
Wow.
The last 8 years, 200 videos. So we love to do it. And we have our Sicilian Project, which is our nonprofit, where we believe that we're trying to make a change. Subtle change, but a change nonetheless.
Good man, Al. And don't forget, please subscribe to our show. Like and share the show with your friends. You can watch us on Facebook and YouTube. You can listen to us anywhere that you can listen to your favorite podcast. And by the way, if you have a comment or even a topic you'd like us to talk about on the show, you can contact us at zapsenior.com, zapsr@hotmail.com. And that's what it's all about. Albie,
Amen.
thank you very much. Say hi to Eszter, to our viewers and listeners. Mikey,
peace.
See you next week.
Michael,
Remember.
God bless you. I'll see you. So we're going to go to Cafe Molise when I come home.
And Tommy's buying.
I will. With that being said, it is history.
My turn to buy.
All right, with that being said, remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone, and have a great week.
Take care, everybody.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.